Hello everyone, welcome to RedBusters channel. In today's video, we look at the recent H1B rule that was submitted by US Department of Labor that can alter the prevailing wage levels for H1B and PERM. So in this video, we will look at the background, what the rule is, and what details we have. So if you haven't subscribed, do subscribe to our channel to get regular updates. So firstly, this is the news. If you go to US Federal Regulatory Dashboard, you can see that under Department of Labor, you have a new entry that talks about restructuring of H1B and PERM wage levels. Now, for most of you, if you do not know what this is, so if you look at an LCA, the LCA H1B LCA usually have a section for wage, and in that there is a wage level that is mentioned. As I can see in the screen, question number 13, right? It usually will tell what that wage level is. Is it level 1, level 2, level 3, or level 4. And these wage levels are usually available for public viewing. You can go to FLC data center website, and there you can select it. Based on the industry database and the location you're in and the job title. Then you will get the list of wage levels. As you can see on the screen, level 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So these are the main four wage levels, and they're basically tied to the experience and the location. So if somebody like in an entry level position, then it will be level 1, and if somebody in a senior position, then it will be level 4. And so that's the fundamental difference, right? And you can check all of these things on FLC data center as well. Now, if you look at the details what are available today, all we have is the title. So the title is restructuring of H1B, H1B1, E3, and PERM wage levels. So that's all we have. Other than this, we do not have any other details. And it's set at a stage called interim final rule. And if we go to the details of by clicking on that, right, we can see that it says pending EO 12866 regulatory review. It's nothing but OMB review, Office of Management and Budget. They basically look at any regulations that has been submitted, and they review it before it can be published. So it's a process that's been established to make sure there are checks and balances in place. Again, very very important thing is this new rule that we're talking about by US Department of Labor was not in part of spring regulatory agenda or has never appeared before. So this is something new that's been created by Trump administration, and it's so we do not have even very basic information what the rule can do other than just the title and it's economically significant. So there have been some speculations that is based on White House info published by Bloomberg Law that tells that there were discussions in the past that they want to change the wage levels, and they want to fix the prevailing wage floor to be set to 50th percentile. What it means is that the basic pay for H1B prevailing wage, they want to set it to 50th percentile, so that all the upper half, the H1B workers are always in upper half of the salary range for a given position in area. And what it equals is basically H1B holder having a level 3 wage or a minimum wage. That's what it boils down to. Again, these are speculations, so we can't really rely on this. This is again we very much know that what Trump administration is usually does. They really exaggerate so much and then they tone it down. So it may very well may not happen, but this is what the current speculation is, right? Now, to look at the impact, right? What it could be, again, we don't have the data, but there is a website called H1B Grader, and they published a data report on the distribution of wage levels. So based on that, we're taking reference. Again, take it, you can check on the website how the things look. But again, this is what the data they published. So the data is basically for FY 2020, this is the distribution of wage levels. So as you can see, about for level 2 wage levels, there are about 214,000 people, and it's about 47% of the labor application, LC applications filed were this, right? And you can see level 1 were about 14%, about 63,000. Rest are level 3 and level 4. So similarly, you can look at other years as well. FY19, the level 2 were much higher, and similarly FY18, FY17. So very very important insight that they point out in their blog article is basically, if you see from FY17 2017 to 2020, the level 1 and level 2 have decreased. Basically, level 1 here is like 35%, about 218K, and in 2020 the level 1 is only 63K. So basically there's a significant reduction in level 1 and level 2, and the increase in so again, this is tied to the if you recall a few years ago when Trump administration administration came in, there was a level one programmer wage RFE, computer programmer RFE, that actually really created a lot of RFEs, and people didn't want to take any chances. So they started bumping up the wage levels in there, and started hiring more senior people, whatever it is, right? So the impact is basically based on this article. It says about 275K, which is basically adding up level one and level two, which is 214K plus 64K, whatever, right? It comes to 275K people that could be, or 275 jobs that could be impacted with if this really pushes to a level three, or level three as a minimum. Again, we have to see what will happen, but this is the impact, that is the potential impact. Now, what are the current status, right? So the federal rulemaking process is really long, and it has to go through 9 steps. In general, so it's a pretty long process. It can take a year or more even. So, but recently also, the Trump administration have put in something called Strengthen H1B program. This was also submitted in interim final stage. So what this interim final stage means is that it actually means that the rule will become effective as soon as it is published. So there is no option for public to review that and give comments before the rule goes effective. It's kind of weird, right? But this is a special provision given to the department, basically to in situations where there is real emergency needed, or the justification, they don't want to go get into this red tape of all this process. So it has to be used with discretion, very properly. Otherwise, what will happen is it can get into legal challenges. So what can happen is if after the publication, they can take public comments. So as we said, the biggest issue is it's economically significant, and it has to go through public comments and everything. But if they don't do that, then they can end up in big trouble. So this can go to courts, and they can get a stay on this, and it can never make it. Yeah. So again, this is what it stands. And very, very important. Other than this basic title, there is not a lot of information. So again, be careful. Be aware of what you're listening. So there is nothing to be scared. Again, this whole thing looks like a big election campaign stunt that Trump administration is trying. That they're trying to protect American jobs by increasing the wages, and put in more checks in place for H1B. So I see that as that perspective, that they're trying to do all of these, including the travel ban, everything, all of this to put up in the election, telling that we are trying to protect American jobs. So again, we'll have to see how things pan out. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe for updates, and we'll keep you posted.